everyone. My name is Haseeb Khan and I am the Director of Innovation and Technology at Tkxel. And today we have Ben with us. So Ben, thank you very much for taking out the time. And why don't you give us a quick introduction about yourself, who you are, what you do, and some brief intro?
Sure. Thank you, Haseeb. And thank you very much for having me. Yes, my name is Ben Hale, and I currently serve in the role of Senior Vice President of Engineering at GTL, heading into my third year here. Prior to this, I helped run Marriott.com at Marriott International for about 13 years. I guess I feel I've had somewhat of a standard career path coming up through software development, information systems degree. Then out of school, I worked at such companies as EDS, Accenture, Thomson Corporation. And I also worked at what I would call a dot-com builder during the ups and downs of that cycle. So I've seen the startup side of things as well.
Right. So, I mean, you have seen the whole 9 yards or whole cycle of the stuff from starting all the way from startups and then seeing the companies going, getting out of the startups and maybe moving towards small and medium enterprises and whatnot. Yeah, that sounds exciting. And with excitement, it has come up that 2020 has been full of excitement and surprises so far. And what people say that they have sort of observed nothing like this before in their lives. So what lessons or what things you have observed in 2020?
Well, you can certainly say that again. This has been probably one of the most different years than any of us have ever experienced. I think about many times how cultures and societies have been gravitating towards kind of instant gratification and desire for faster results and answers. However, this global pandemic has been so contrary to that mindset. I feel the most important thing I've learned is the importance of patience, communication, and empathy. I often think about, I had a birthday somewhat early in the pandemic, first week of April, and thinking about how strange it was and how different it was. However, in just a few short months, every person in the world will have had a birthday during this situation.
Yeah, right.
I think this year has forced us to realize that everyone's situation is different. And while we certainly had some ups and downs throughout the year, they varied widely from person to person and friend and family member. Right. This is why I feel patience, communication, and empathy are so important, and we can't rush in with an evaluation or a judgment or even with an answer, because the impact is different between different people and to a different degree.
Sure.
So combining patience and empathy, hopefully we can use communication to strengthen bonds and team cohesion in a time when it may be needed the most.
Sure, absolutely. So, I mean, as you just also talked about in your introduction, that you have seen the whole cycle, startups, small and medium businesses, enterprise, etc. I mean, team management and teamwork is sort of crucial to companies of all scale, be it startups or be it as big as Fortune companies. So, in your opinion, is there a secret sauce that can be used or employed in the growth of any company?
I guess I would say there might be a couple of secret sauces out there, but I would have to say that a shared understanding of what the company growth objectives are is very important. They may be, revenue oriented, new markets, acquisitions, or new products. And there also needs to be a shared excitement and understanding of how all team members can contribute to those goals. Mm-hmm. So many times, corporate objectives are well understood by the executive and senior management level, but they're not always as much shared and understood or comprehended by all team members.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I think that's very critical to, share that understanding so that everybody understands how they fit in. Mm-hmm. One of the things our head of product calls big crazy idea meetings. And everybody comes to these with new ideas about evolving our existing products or describing new products or new industries. And they're just a ton of fun and keep everybody engaged with, a sense of how they can contribute.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good idea, and people can come with an open mindset and they can talk their mind out, right? So, yeah. And talking about minds, what we have also observed that when organizations are growing, then there are two things. I mean, processes are very, very crucial in the growth of any organization, especially when they are scaling. However, in startups, we have seen more agility. I mean, more people are doing multiple stuff. I mean, small junior team members wearing multiple hats. The same person is doing all the way from customer support to rolling out production code. All of these things are like taken care of in like an agile fashion. People come forward, they work in tag teams and get things done. So, what in your opinion is some of the team dynamics that would be crucial in the success of any team or any organization per se?
Yes, I mean, speaking about agile, I guess I would, say that it's a mindset in which we know that we don't have all the answers, and only through experimentation and testing hypothesis can we learn enough to identify our next steps and actions. Mm-hmm. So, for an agile mindset, one in which we're open to new ideas, you're not fixed on what things you think the answer is, and your vision, has to be well understood. And a lot of times I feel that people confuse, the vision with the end result. And many times the vision is where you're going, but defining the incremental steps getting there is how you develop great products. Too many times, we think we know what the customer wants or what they need. And, without incrementally making adjustments and testing those hypotheses, you can certainly create a product that is never adopted. Mm-hmm. So, in the end, basically don't try to come up with the whole solution or blueprint to execute on, but have a good vision of what you're after, then identify the chunks of work that can really get you there.
Sure. So coming back to the two things you talked about, empathy, creativity, right? So would you say that creativity is more important in a team lead as compared to empathy, or empathy will be more important as compared to creativity?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I guess I would say that empathy just edges out creativity as being more important. Okay. And the way I look at it, empathy is a cornerstone to building the relationship with your team. And without that really strong and positive relationship, you may miss out on the collective creativity that you get from everyone. Mm-hmm. Because as a lead, you will want to tap the creativity of all team members. Mm-hmm. And hopefully creativity kind of breeds, more creativity. And the only reason I say that empathy edges out creativity is that some solutions, they don't always have to be so creative, but they get the job done. Mm-hmm. However, if you don't have empathy, you may not have the right team dynamics and relationship to deliver those solutions in an effective manner that you need.
Right. So team management, if we talk about, then there is a component which is, a sub-component you can say, which is also talent management. So I mean, when you have a team, they are talented, right, in your opinion, or maybe for the need of the project or the organization. That's why they are part of the team, right? So talent management, in your opinion, is going to be the only the HR's responsibility, or it's the team lead's responsibility as well to manage this talent by working hand in hand with HR, or maybe calling some shots individually. What do you think?
Is only HR's responsibility? I would say absolutely not.
Okay.
While they do have an important role to play, it's definitely a partnership
Mm-hmm.
between HR and all managers of others or leads within the organization. It's important for HR to have a good understanding of markets and demand for resources, since they have, many times they have a responsibility for pay equity across the enterprise.
Sure,
But
sure.
it certainly should be a partnership in that talent management. And also, we should realize that our team members many times are our best sources of new talent when openings arise. I work very closely with my HR team in the sourcing, screening, onboarding of new talent. But the talent management in the long haul, I would say, falls more on my
Sure.
shoulders as a leader and my organization.
Sure, sure. So, I mean, we are seeing that quite a lot of emerging technologies are coming up. New developments are happening every day. So, do you think that this will actually, I mean, be a key sort of a parameter or a key thing in impacting the retention of team members?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly, working with software and technology, we probably have one of the fastest evolving, emerging new
Sure.
capabilities and
Yeah.
techniques coming our way all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly important for team members to embrace those new technologies, especially when they can provide value to the customer. And what I've found is that you will have some team members who are really excited and
Motivated.
they have motivated, and they want that new all the time. And on the flip side, it's also something you have to energize your team around when the adoption is not as eagerly sought out. And so it's that balancing act of feeding those who are hungry for it and really looking for things to make their job exciting and keep their skill set sharp, but
Sure.
also encouraging team members that may be more timid to adopt something new, getting them the motivational factors that help them adopt to new
Sure.
opportunities.
Sure. So, I mean, if I ask you that in 2021, what you would like to do differently as in your current role, and beyond 2021, what that one or two things would be?
So I think that as leaders, we get wrapped up into what I would call project work and wanting to do the valuable work for the company. And sometimes the things such as removal of tech debt or automation or cloud adoption kind of gets put on the back burner because this mountain of project work is like always consuming every minute of every day. And so for 2021, I would like to set some concrete goals around things like tech debt removal and cloud migration adoption.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't make it a goal and kind of tee it up as something you're going to accomplish, it naturally has this like taking second stage to the mountain of project work.
Right. So, I mean, in the last, we talked quite a lot of team. Essentially, at the end of the day, every person in the team is a resource and is an individual as well, right? So people have different backgrounds. They are diversified. Some are highly skilled. Some are like, I mean, mediocre. Some are like low skilled. I mean, there are all sort of people. And they are all over the place in the team. So how do you typically overcome the challenges of dealing with someone who is diversified as well as a highly skilled resource? What are the challenges in there?
Yes, I would, this probably brings our conversation full circle back to patience, empathy, and communication.
Mhm.
You're right that each individual team member, is different, and they need to have a clear set of goals and objectives and regularly discuss those with their manager or lead. And this should be a two-way conversation where the manager learns about team members' challenges and successes, and then attempts to coach in areas that may need improvement and provide feedback.
Sure. Sure.
Hopefully, diversity can be realized as an asset to your organization. And the faster you realize that, I think it allows you to extract more from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because diversity is a great thing, and I believe it has a direct correlation to the amount of learning that's possible in your organization. And having such a large set of different perspectives, when it comes to evaluating ideas and options.
Sure. So, any last thoughts, Ben, on our topic, that are scale teams the new currency, really, in your opinion? And then we can close.
Sure. I would just encourage folks to, never overlook the importance of the relationship. Build that relationship. Certainly this year, more than ever, people are going to need some extra encouragement, connection. We do so much work and communication through conference calls. So I would encourage, from time to time, cut that camera on, and it allows you to connect in a way that audio doesn't always allow you to.
Yeah. So I mean, what you are essentially saying is that the picture has picture is better than 1,000 words, has a practical example now, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So Ben, thank you very much again for your time today. It was very nice hosting you, and I hope that we will have you sometime again with a new and exciting topic. Thank you very much.
That'd be great. Thank you very much too.